Hi, I'm Sherry and welcome back to my channel, Sherry Jones Designs. In today's video, I want to show you a new technique that I am doing or learning that I think you guys might also enjoy. It's a new look for me. Normally I do regular patchwork, where I just put squares on squares or square shapes, but this one I'm going to be trying to make a stained glass look. Now this is a peel and stick window cling, and it's what inspired me to try to do more of a stained glass kind of look with fabric. I thought, wouldn't that be pretty to do something like that? So I'm just starting it, so I'm hoping to be able to offer some of these pieces in my store soon. So let me show you the mess I have created over in the sewing area. Look at this mess. This is such a big mess. I wanted really good selection of colors, so I've got all my different tubs out. I'm trying this, and here is what I am doing. It looks, right now, this is what I've tried, like where you bring them all together to a point, or where you have the pieces separate. But doesn't that kind of look like stained glass? So it looks right now, I just started this, but it's got the different pieces. I don't know if you can see here. And what I like about this is I do have to use bigger pieces so far, but what I like about it is it's not hard to do. Like, I'm just overlapping and sewing one down and doing edges. Now I am using my serger to create this look, but then I was wondering, could a person, because these are serged pieces, could a person do this also with zigzag? So I may, a very close zigzag. I may also try that, because that would be easier to do with smaller pieces. With the serger, it's hard to get, somehow it's just harder to turn angles and do that with the serger. So let me show you how I'm doing this right now, and then maybe we will try some with a zigzag. On the back side, it just looks like this, though. It's not, But I think this is going to be, I'm not right now doing like a design like a flower or anything like that, but I can see how you could absolutely do just like they do with the regular stained glass, and do these pieces as individual shapes, like a leaf, a stem, a rose, something. So I'm kind of excited. This is all new. This is something new. That window cling just really inspired me to try to see if I could create the look with textiles. Basically what I'm doing is I am taking a piece of fabric. Let's see what color I can pick next here. Let's say I wanted, and they have to be pretty good size. Like, I am noticing that if I make them too small, I'm really struggling to attach it. So basically what I'm doing is, after I have an edge, I'm taking my fabric and I'm just, well, it's really been chopped up, hasn't it? And I'm just sticking it under. Like, I'd stick this under where I wanted to start and stop, and then I'm just, I pin it if I need to so it doesn't shift on me, hold flat, and I'm sewing the edge down with a zigzag, and then I'm cutting the shape I want with my extra piece, and then I'm taking it over and I'm serging it. But I think you could probably do it with a zigzag. Just take and zigzag it. Or with a zigzag, you can probably cut your pieces and you could do the whole thing on a backing. Let's say you had some kind of like a sheet or something, and then do the whole thing as a huge applique. You could also do that. But I was like, I wanted to know if I could do piecing this way. Could I just lay down one piece after another, sew it on, and serge the shape I want on the other side of it? It might be faster. We don't know. So now, what I'm doing I don't like this edge at all. Let me just cut this off. And so now I'm just starting here, and I'm using a zigzag so it locks in a lot of my threads, because there are some places the thread is a little bit loose. I'm just making sure it's flat. Excuse me. I'm just making sure it's laying down flat. This does use a lot of thread, like the serger thread, and then you're coming over it again with another thread. So now I would have this shape. And I set it on backwards. That's okay. I don't care. So then, here we go. I'm going to cut the color, like the shape I would want. And I've been doing sort of rounded shapes, as long as I'm staying big enough. And I'm just going to start where this is at here. And I'm just going to cut myself sort of a nice rounded shape. My serger will clean it up. I'm just having, this is just fun to see if I could do this. And now I get my initial shape. I decide if I like it. But I can see how you could literally build a design in. And I'll start my serger and I'll come around. And then if I want to, I can go ahead and do another, like I could do a smaller here, or a larger one that would go clear around. So this is just a lot of fun. Let me show you how to do it on the serger. I also trim this other side. It's okay to use the wrong side of a fabric. A lot of times it's more pastel or more, you're not looking for as bold as a statement. And this one, it's almost the same color, so it's fine. So now I'm just going to put my needle down right at that pivot point in there where I want to start. Drop the foot and just go from there. Now when you're coming up, this may be a problem because I have a button here, but when you're coming up to here, you want to watch where your knife is at, because if I was to bring the thread in right where this ends, my knife would have already cut into this. So you want to make sure your knife is not going to cut where you don't want it to cut. And that's close enough because I can zigzag that right there where I meet it up with another fabric. Okay. And this is a good example. You can see how it was cutting in right there. So I could either start again and come over that. I'll show you how, if I didn't like that, what I can do. Serging is nice because of this. You can go over where you've serged before. But see, when I went to turn this corner, that knife actually caught that. And just serge off. And when I sew it down, I'll just be sewing over that and catching that loop in again. I think that's going to be really pretty. It's just like stained glass. And I'm just building a piece of fabric is what I'm trying to do. And then my plan is to see if I can make it look right by cutting this fabric into a usable shape. And I'll show you one thing I have in mind that I thought might work well with this. This is the design I'm thinking about trying this, using this fabric on first. This is, the tutorial I have with the 2 shirts, the pinafore. But this one I have designed, I took a shirt, folded it in half after I cut the shape that I use, and I'm using fabric or linens. And this is one done that way. And it looks really nice. I was surprised how cute it is. It does not have the buttons, that a shirt would have down the edges here. But it's cute as can be. I think that this should work really well with the stained glass piece. So imagine all this here as a stained glass with the denim. So I'm thinking that could be really cute. And so that's the end result of what I'm doing. I'll probably still use this lightweight denim on the back. And this is a fabric that I bought. This is upcycled jeans. And children's jeans and small sizes jeans, I think, make better fronts for these, because they're smaller and you get more detail. You get more of the pocket, you get more, the zippers are shorter, you don't have to make them as long. And so there's that. And then my pockets, I like to cut the pockets with the back piece. So you cut around the pocket, and that gives you 2 pockets when you sew it on, or onto your garment. It gives you 2 pockets. I like to do that when I can, because in today's world with phones and things like that, you need extra space. And so a lot of times when you wear like a dress or something, you don't have like jeans, you have your back pockets. So it's nice to have someplace to store your extra goodies, to drop them for a minute. And but this is what I'm going to try. This pattern here is one I think I'm going to try to use my stained glass piece that I'm making over there on. I'm just not absolutely certain how it's going to look. So I'll show you the end result, and we'll do a few more pieces, and then I'll show you what it looks like when I get it all put together. So I'm just going to kind of alternate between light and dark colors here. By that I mean, like, this is dark. I would consider this light. Even a bright, a lot of times I consider the light. So I've got dark, light, dark. This one I have dark beside it, but I have a light here and a light here. And so I'm trying to decide if this is really what I want to put here, or if I want a purple. Maybe the purple will go over here. So, okay, let's just put it here. Let's not overthink this. This would be a great project for your, you go to garage sales and you just find shirts and things that you like the colors of, but nothing's the right size, and just cut them all up in big pieces and make a big old stained glass sort of piece for yourself. It finally cooled down outside. I've got the cutest little birds showing up to my bird feeders. They're like little baby juvenile, not baby, but juvenile birds with all the little feathers sticking out. And it's so adorable to watch them all. Watch the mama birds trying to raise their babies. Okay, let's lay this out and see how much bigger I need to make it. Well, yesterday it was so funny. I was watching the bird feeder, and this male bird, cardinal, had 2 of its fledglings or whatever. They were just kind of tufted feathers. Had them trying to show them how to gather their own food, and I just had to laugh. It reminded people. One of them was like, "I've got this. I'm doing a good job." It's jumping around the ground under the feeder, grabbing little bits of corn, eating them. The other one was like, "I refuse to grow up." It squawked and hollered and just threw a fit. And my son and I were watching out the window and just chuckling. It would pick up a piece, eat it, but then just hop and follow the male cardinal around, their dad. It would follow him around and just squawk, and it just wouldn't stop. And I was really, it was very remarkable how patient the adult parent bird was with that little bird. It just kept taking a piece, drop it in front of it, and then grab a piece for itself and eat it. Like, this is how you do it. And I just did that over and over and over and over again. And hours later, I could still hear that little bird out there demanding to be fed. It was hilarious. It was hilarious. It reminds me so much of people, how some, even of my own children, how some just jump and run, and others just need a little more help. So we're all different, you know. But it's fun to see it in nature, but it's also in animals, that animals and birds do have personality, they have spirit, and it's fun to watch. Okay, I'm just going to set these off to the side because I'm going to need them again. We're going to pull our fabric out. This is basically the pattern. And you can make your own by taking a shirt, you know, following the instructions, cutting the shape out, and then folding it in half. And so this is the fold line. So I definitely got a ways to go to complete this. I'll show you what it looks like so far. I'm just laying it out to see if I have enough and which way to build. Because like I don't need to go any further that way. It's tall enough. I just need to have a piece out here. I could even maybe come over a little bit like that. Oh yeah, that would give me if I build this corner out. And then I'll just have to, when I get one, I could actually cut one side and put a mark here and then fold it as I build it, I think. So one tip I want to point out when doing this method is that you have to, before you attach another piece, you have to have the edge finished in black with the serger. So like I have this one done, and now I've added this piece here, but I need to make sure that I finish this edge before I slide my next piece, which is going to be this one, before I slide it under here. Okay, the first thing I noticed when laying this fabric out is that it's easy to add extra, which actually could be used in designs. Like, it's easy to pull the fabric in a little bit and add extra to it. So literally you could make, you know, a skirt extra full or a top extra full by doing that. But I'm trying to make it flat, but I'm failing on some of the areas. Like I had to take a piece out down here because I'm not laying it out flat. I'm going to lay it out, try to lay it out, pin it really good before I continue. I'm going to mark where my center is here, where my center fold is in a couple of places here. Hopefully that doesn't all rub off. And I'm not going to cut my edge here. I'm just going to cut the shape here, and then I'll continue to build up this side. Okay, so I have this little area here I want to fill in, because here's the corner of it coming down, and I just want to fill this in. And I did this with this piece I cut off. And look, I could just lay this over like that and create more pieces. Like I can choose how I would want to lay it. I wouldn't want the raw edge up here, but like I would probably go like this to this, or maybe trim this off and just do it like that. I think maybe that's what I'll do. I'm just going to trim along the serge line. And then lay it in like that. Pin it down, and look, I've already got my piece filled in. This is going to be so much fun. I can see how you could literally build out a picture of like a sunset, sunrise, flowers, birds, or whatever onto a garment. The tricky part is you got to lay it out flat, because I'm getting extra materials where I really don't want it. But you could use that ability to create some unique, really unique features to a garment. All right, here's what it looks like as a fabric done up into a garment. See if I can stretch it out here for you to see, kind of. Looks a little bit like broken glass, I think. Now, the big takeaways, let me see here. Let's see if I can kind of stretch it out. This is what it looked like. I definitely think it has a place, and I learned a few things along the way, but I will say it is time consuming. I was surprised how time consuming it is, and maybe just because it's a new technique. Like, I found out if I had pieces already with the edges serged and just laid it on top and sewed it, that was almost faster than the way I was doing the edge and then laying it under. So I can see there's definitely a learning curve to it. I haven't tried yet with a zigzag on a machine to see if I could get a similar look to it, but I think with that you'd have to have your fabric already in place and then zigzag over it. I don't think it would work to zigzag that heavy and then try to lay it over like I'm serging and doing that, simply because a lot of times with one layer and heavy zigzag, your machine will try to eat your fabric. So, but yeah, I think I'm pleased with the results. Like, I'm happy with the way it turned out. All right, well, here's what it looks like. For a first attempt, I'm not too disappointed to look like stained glass panels. It's not too bad like that. I did end up using purple on the back side of it. I had a purple sheet, so I used that. I know it is a dress, like I said, and remember I'm short. I'm only 5 foot high, so in a normal person, this is going to come up a little bit to here, and this is, you know, it's all going to be different. So, but what do you think? Let me know if this is something that you think you would find an application for. I think really, really bright colors in it, like super bright, might be really cute. Also, there's a design that I used to do that was a full skirt, really, really, really full, like a full circle. It would fall, but it was kind of short. And I think this would look cute in one of those, this print here. So this one will be available in my store, but I will say this, the biggest struggle to do this style was the fabric wanted to like get extra in it. I don't know how to explain it. Like when I was adding the pieces, I would end up with some waving instead of the whole thing being flat. So definitely laying it, having a flat surface to lay it on, and pinning it really well so when you get to the machine it doesn't move on you. I actually had to take apart a couple of sections because instead of laying flat, like you just wanted to add extra, like ruffle, almost like a ruffle you would in a way, like I wanted to add extra in there. So that's the biggest problem I had with it, but it wasn't hard to fix because I just cut it off, redo it, put another piece. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget there's a link in the description to a free Discord if you want to go, like if you want to share a picture with me or something you make. Some people want to do that. So that's in the description, and thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, happy sewing!